Welcome to Tech Tuesday, everyone. My name is Abbie Richie. I am the host of this show, and I'm so very thankful to have you here with me today. I'm also the founder and CEO of Senior Savvy, which helps all of your residents with their tech needs. We have a great show lined up for us today. And before we introduce the guest, let's go ahead and run the intro. Okay, I'd like to bring on my guest for today. I have the one and only Steve Moran. You all know him. Hello, Steve. Welcome to
Oh
Tech
man, I'm
Tuesday.
so glad to be here. Happy Thanksgiving. It is just the best to be here, to be chatting. And
I'm tickled
I
pink.
just want to say I love you all.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We adore you too. And you all know Steve. He's the host of Foresight TV, which you can find on Fridays. And he's joining me today along with one of my colleagues I don't often get to collaborate with, but I can today. And that is Burton Kelso. Welcome to the show, Burton.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I'm so excited, as you can see from my little banner in the background. Kapow, right?
Yeah, I can tell you like the toys, right, Burton?
I like saving stuff from the scrap heap because all of those are my boys' toys. I just incorporated them for for my live video in my newscast. So it's kind of fun set to look at.
Awesome. Burton, tell us about you, where you're located, who you help, and some of the tech that you're thankful for.
So I'm a tech expert and the owner, chief tech expert at Integral, which is a on-site and remote computer repair company. So all that stuff that Geek Squad, my company's done, but we've been around longer for about 29 years. And again, I'm based out of the Kansas City area, but I'm also a national speaker and a TV guest tech expert showing tips and tricks to the viewers of the shows that I'm on across the country and internationally, because I've been on TV in London too. So
Awesome.
one of my favorite tech items, I wish I had it with me, but it's the Skylight frame, which is designed for seniors. This thing will allow you to email photos to your senior loved ones so that they can keep on top of what's going on with the family. So if you're not able to visit grandma or grandpa or great auntie this holiday season, you can send them a Skylight and they can view photos of what's going on across the world.
Yeah, so it works just like a digital photo frame, right?
That's correct. But
yeah,
unlike the old school ones where you had to load a SIM card into the frame, you can actually set up an email for Skylight and you can just send emails directly to the frame itself.
Yes, that's so cool. It's so much faster. It's easier. It's more immediate. People can get your photos right away. And I just want to say thank you to Christine for chiming in here today, because a lot of times, our clients and the people we impact do look at us like we're superheroes. We're actually just, typically doing basic things, but they need our help. So, speaking of superheroes, Steve, tell me, what is a piece of technology that you're thankful for?
So this is going to sound a little weird and it's going to sound completely old school, right? Because it's really not new anymore. But I continue to really, really like Facebook. Told you I was going to be old. I know. Shocking, right?
Yeah.
But the thing I love about Facebook, lots of things to hate about Facebook. I get it. But you know what? It allows me to stay in touch with people who are from way back in the past. And at my age, there are a lot of people that I've moved a couple of times. I lived in Northern California, and I moved to Southern California. Then I moved to the Bay Area. Now I'm back in Northern California, and I get to still have touches with, I think my oldest friend is somebody who our parents were friends, and we actually played as 6-month-olds in a bathtub together. And without Facebook, those touches would not happen. And so, I love those kinds of technologies. Burton, I love skylight. My daughter has a skylight, and once in a while, I don't do it often enough, and I should start sending her more weird stuff.
Yeah, more weird socks. Well, I want to now talk about some of the tech that we're particularly thankful for as it relates and pertains to residents at senior living communities around the country. And so I've kind of put together a list of some things that I am just so thankful for that your residents have access to. And one of those is a ring alarm / blink camera. And I wanted to highlight these to let you know that they're available. I have a lot of clients that just love having that peace of mind, being able to pop in and check on their living room, check on a pet, that type of thing. So guys, have you had a chance to use any of these cameras before?
I guess I can go first. Yeah, our whole house is filled with blink and ring cameras. I mean, I have to say, as far as ring, regardless if you have the plug-in version or the battery operated version, anybody can set these items up. And the same thing with blink. Blink cameras can be set up within seconds. And even though it's run on batteries, I can tell you from experience, those batteries can last up to 2 years and longer. So it's the perfect gift for seniors that will allow them to stay safe and secure in their homes.
Yes, absolutely. So we've set a couple of these up for different clients who are, maybe their adult children just want to make sure they're okay, make sure that they're just tracking and doing the regular things that they do every day. And along those same lines, I will tell you that I love the sensors, like StackCare, for instance, that type of sensor that will show you when someone is not doing the same amount of activity that they typically could do at certain times. So, for instance, these sensors are in many different senior living communities. And the thing that I absolutely love about them is that they're happening behind the scenes. And so what that means is that it's not obtrusive, and it's also not reliant upon the person you're trying to protect. Because while I love the Apple Watch, don't get me wrong, it's only as good for fall detection as the person who's wearing it. And so if your residents don't want to wear an ugly pendant or an ugly wristband, but they want to wear this, yes, that means that that's one additional layer of protection and security should they fall. Guys, comments?
Yep. So I'm going to go back to Ring for a second. I love Ring. We have it at our house. One at our doorbell, one over our garage. We live in a nice neighborhood. But I actually want to ask you a little bit of question. I'd love to have both of your thoughts on this. I was at a senior living community I'm going to write about it, so I want to be a little careful. But one of the things they actually, a very small community, and they actually put a Ring camera in every resident's room. And I probably am giving some senior living operators heart attacks right now. What about the privacy issues? Do you have thoughts on when's it appropriate and when is privacy being violated?
I'll speak on that first. I mean, yeah, you've got issues. Obviously, Amazon owns Blink, they own Ring, but I think what most people want is peace of mind. So I think security is a little bit in the background, but overall, yes, maybe they're spying on you. Yes, maybe they're feeding that data to law enforcement without your permission. But I think in the day-to-day aspect of it, it has to be peace of mind. I know with our Blink cameras and with the Ring camera, I know when someone is at my front door. I know if someone's creeping around the house. And to me, and I'm sure for a lot of seniors, that's more important than worrying about if Amazon is peeping on my day-to-day activity.
Yeah, I'm going to side with Burton there. And, Steve, there are so many devices that have listen-in mode on them already. Like, for instance, any of the digital assistants that come into play. You can toggle on and off a button where it's listening for you or not listening for you, ready to be summoned. So I think there's something to be said about that. But overall, for the true reason of using it, which is for safety and security and peace of mind, that overweighs the other factors that may or may not be happening.
Okay. So I'm going to actually turn to you two as the experts for a couple seconds. You've talked about two devices that I don't really know much about. And so I think maybe it'd be helpful to have a little bit of explanation about what the StackCare is and what the Blink is.
Abbie, you go with StackCare. You're more familiar with that. I can take Blink all day long.
Okay, you got it. You got it. So StackCare puts sensors in different senior living communities, in apartments, at home, in different communities, for instance. And what it allows you to do is have the peace of mind that your loved one or your resident is working through their regular schedule. Okay. So it's a sensor, it's happening in the background. You don't even know that it's there as it's sensing your movements. But if something is off, maybe you've gotten up 5 times more to go to the bathroom. Maybe there's an undetected UTI. Maybe you are sleeping longer than normal. Maybe there's a problem with the medication. All of this data will help someone to intervene faster than if you were waiting for someone to just pull a safety cord. Does that help you, Steve?
Yeah. So is it like, does it just sit in the room, or where does it, I guess that I get hung up on the physical part. Where is it? Is it in the bed? Are there multiple in a room? What's that look like?
Yeah, let me see if I can bring up a photo for you, but they're typically on the wall in the corner. I don't think you would even notice that it would be there. And depending on whether it's at home, let me see if I can show you any images here. And you can get an idea of what it is and what it looks like. So it's a motion sensor, and one that you're going to plug in and a couple that you're going to stick on the wall in the corner. It's kind of like for your Ring alarm. You know how your Ring alarm has motion sensors in certain rooms, and you'll get a little ding, when it senses motion. Does that make sense to you?
That makes it. That's perfect. That's good. That's good.
Okay, great.
Yeah, now, Steve, to give you an idea about how the Blink camera system works, it's a wireless camera system that just easily mounts to any surface. You can use it as an interior camera or an outdoor camera, but with it being wireless, it runs on those ion lithium, I think AA batteries, and it just hooks up to a hub, and it has sensors that will alert you via an app whenever there's movement, and it will record those videos, tidbits or snippets up to the cloud, so you can go to the app and see whatever activity is going on. Now, the great thing about Blink is that it's associated with Amazon, so it will integrate with your Alexa show devices and allow you to see whatever's going on.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
And as you can hear, I said the magic word and my device is talking. But
yeah,
your Echo device will allow you to see what's going on in whatever camera. So if you assign a camera for a specific sector of your house, you can just ask your Echo device to show that camera, and it'll just pull up immediately. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I think you're making my Christmas more expensive.
Well, I want to talk about a couple of other things here. And first, I just want to say thank you to virtual programming. I think this has been an amazing, convenient addition to a lot of residents, because they can continue to learn and engage and thrive even if they cannot leave their home. So I love this aspect. For me personally, as a mom, being able to participate in virtual events from my office has been huge. And the number of people that we're able to reach now because of virtual programming has been wonderful. So any feedback, you guys, on virtual programming?
Abbie, I was going to ask you, what's your preference as far as the whole virtual programming? Is it an app like Zoom, or do you think it would be better for seniors to get like a Google Show device or an Alexa Show device to communicate with seniors?
That's a really good question. And so I think if you're taking a class, you're going to be more comfortable with it being on the largest screen possible. If you're just having a simple, casual video chat, using something like an Echo Show is ideal. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't do a lot of connection with family members. They're mostly because they're close by. But I love Zoom. I probably on a typical day spend 3 to 4 hours in Zoom. I know I read articles, particularly business related, where they talk about Zoom fatigue. And I don't know. Abbie, you and I actually need to connect this week, right? And I'd rather do it by Zoom than I would by phone, because I just feel like we communicate better when I can see people. So, big, huge fan of Zoom. Use Skype and other things occasionally, but Zoom's just sort of my go-to.
Me too.
One of the things I was going to throw up, since we're talking about virtual communication, is internet connectivity. I think for most seniors, it would be better for them to connect on their smart devices, because you're going to get cellular signal in those rural areas as opposed to a robust internet connection. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I want to segue into something else that I've recently come into contact with, because I think it is amazing, and more communities, more residents, more senior living operators need to know about a smart walker. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. I want to show you this because I have not seen anything else like this. And anytime I see a piece of technology that is going to be easier for someone to use, it's going to make their life better, I want to highlight and showcase that. Is that still running? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so meet Camino. Camino is an e-walker. Of course, it's beautiful and stylish on the outside, but it's also tracking a ton of data and metrics that can help your physical therapist, that can help your OT, that can help your doctor know how you can be assisted better. And I really think that this is the future of the walkers. Not only that, but this walker will also boost you uphill, auto brake you downhill. It has lighting, and it can also go into what is called narrow mode. So imagine if you were going down the aisle on an airplane, you would be able to use this smart walker by going into narrow mode. Imagine, instead of having a whole parking lot of walkers around your dining room, or having to be moved and not have access to that, instead, you could tuck it under your seat. So you could still have access to your walker if you needed it. That's something that Camino can do. And I just think it is so stinking smart. I just love the fact that it gives you a little bit of power boost on the flat and help you get uphill as well. So this is, Steve, if you want to add something to your future Christmas list, this might be a good thing to add.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Let me stop my share. There you go. Any questions about that?
Abbie, is there an app for that walker?
Yes, there is. There's an app for that. They're in pre-order right now, and it should be out by next week or the week thereafter.
Because what I'm imagining is not only would the senior have the app on their smart device, but also loved ones could keep track of their senior loved ones as far as what activities going on with the walker.
Also, with the data that the walker collects, that can be shared with the health app in your iPhone. So, wow. I haven't seen it all happen in action, but I'm going to be taking another look at it next week. I'm looking forward to that.
That's incredible. I mean, that's a game changer, definitely, with technology.
Yes, game changer. Absolutely. Okay, now that you mentioned that, I have to share with you something that's been a game changer for me. And this one has been out for quite a while. So it's not like it's Facebook or anything, but let me go ahead and share my screen with you. And I gotta tell you, this has revolutionized my vacuuming, which is not an
Oh,
exciting thing. But let me go ahead and play this video because I love it. I feel this excited about it every time.
I
I love this video. It's so upbeat.
I see, Abby.
Yeah,
It's funny to see you react to this. This
I'm
is
into
incredible.
it. Okay, I'm totally into it. Okay, love that video. Let me stop my screen share. There we go. Blah blah blah. So, guys, I gotta tell you, and you too. Stop talking. Okay, I gotta tell you, our vacuum recently broke down. I didn't want to get another one because I hate vacuuming and no one in my house will vacuum. And I have a shoulder injury, which means I really and truly should not ever vacuum. So I decide to get the Roomba and I install it. And I just got to tell you, I am blown away with it because for me to come home and see those beautiful vacuuming stripes in my carpet, and I didn't even do it myself. Like, I just love that. Love, love, love it. So I'm thrilled with it.
I can't wait for you to get the Roomba mop, Abby. We have three. Well, we have two Roombas and the Roomba mop. So I just can't wait to see the joy in your face if you decide to get a Roomba mop for Christmas.
It's on my wish list. Steve, have you used anything like that?
Well, we have a Roomba in our house. I know that my wife spends a lot of time fighting with the programming on it, so I'm not quite sure about that. But we've got a lot of hardwood laminate floors, and I'm thinking, man, that Roomba mop. I'm going to go. Made a note on there to go down there. I would say from a senior living perspective, though, one of the things that you sort of touched on with this Roomba that I'm really excited about, we're starting to see, but I think has so much more potential. Are robots in senior living communities. We're seeing there are a lot of not a lot being relative. Probably more people are using the bear robots in the dining rooms to run either food from the dining room out or dirty dishes back in. Great story that I heard at the Senior Living Innovation Forum about how they were actually able to take somebody who was a dining worker in her 60s. She just could not do the steps. People loved her. She loved her job. And so by bringing in a robot, she could, handle putting things on the robot, serving things, cleaning things up, saved a job, when staffing is so big a problem. And so I just think that that's one of the areas that we see tremendous opportunity in senior living communities.
One other thing I was going to mention about the Roombas is the newer models aren't just have the receptacle for pet hair or trash in the Roomba itself. Newer models, I think it's the J7 Plus, that has the receptacle where if the Roomba goes back to home base, then it sucks all the debris into a larger container and then it'll go back and do its job. So that way, if you're a senior, you're not having to bend over all the time and clean the Roomba out like every few seconds.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, I am a huge fan, totally converted to the robot vacuum. Well, and now at this point, I want to see, have we missed anything, guys? Is there any other tech that you're thankful for, whether it's for yourself or for a senior living community?
I will say, with it being cold and flu season, having phone soap would be an excellent idea. As we know, smart devices are filthy, and it's important for seniors to have something that's going to reduce the chances that they could get COVID or even the flu. So phone soap would be on another item on the top of my list that seniors should embrace this year and beyond.
Yeah, are you familiar with that, Steve?
I have no idea. I know that when we did our team meeting together in Las Vegas a few months ago, you were horrified when you looked at how dirty my laptop was. I'm thinking maybe that's what I need, huh?
Okay. Yes, I was. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even have enough lens cleaning wipes to clean your laptop. That's, we could talk about that later. Okay.
Yeah.
This is called phone soap, and it's a phone sanitizer. But they also make these in like little bins, and you could drop your keys. You can drop your, what else? Your wallet, especially when you're traveling, your charger, you can drop that all. I've even put makeup in there and sanitized makeup brushes as well. But this takes it's on a timer, and it takes, I think less than like 2 or 3 minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
10 minutes to disinfect the whole thing. And a lot of people really like that. You can charge it up. You can take it with you. Definitely put your icky earbuds in there, okay? And get those cleaned up. And people absolutely love it. That's a great suggestion, Burton.
Thanks, Steve. They also make a big phone soap called Home Soap that you can stick your items into, like your laptop. That
really
will disinfect it too. Yeah.
Oh man, I think maybe I need that. So,
Step one.
One last thing too, the good thing about phone soap is that you can either wired or wirelessly charge your smartphones at the same time as they're getting disinfected. So It's like a bonus.
Ooh,
that's cool.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's Home Soap. I see it right here. Okay. You guys are, there we go. Home Soap.
Well, yeah, it's got the receptacle in it. I always get the names goofed up, but yeah, that's it. See that little laptop hanging in there?
Wow.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I will let everyone know. Steve needs that.
That's right. So I have a couple of questions. So one of the things that we've sort of touched on a little bit, but I think that I continue to believe there's a lot more opportunity, and that's in the world of voice. Voice for TV. We've got one of our sponsors at Foresight is a company called Cavo that has this amazing app to control TVs and do some really cool TV things. But as I was thinking about this voice thing, and I saw some pictures, do you have recommendations about headsets for older people? Earphones? I mean, I've got a Bose that I carry when I fly. Thoughts on that?
Well, you think AirPods won't work? I mean, I'm for the AirPod thing. I know the newer version of AirPods at least have the Find My AirPod. So if you lose it, then you can use your phone to find it. But I've always been a big AirPod person. And I know sometimes that doesn't always work for seniors, but newer models are a little bit bigger, and I think they would work perfectly. And the noise canceling in them is incredible.
Oh, I love noise cancellation. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you and present this to you. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because a lot of older adults are wearing hearing aids. Okay, so if you're wearing a hearing aid, you can actually Bluetooth in your music, and you have that. But let's say you don't like the feel of something in your ears, and or you want to be able to listen to music or listen to an audiobook, but also hear the ambient sounds of the street, right? So there's something called bone conduction, and it's an open ear Bluetooth headset. I see people wearing these all the time now because they want to keep them on their ears. They want to listen to whatever they're listening to, but also hear the phone ring, hear someone coming down the hall, that type of thing, hear a car coming. So this would be my solution for an older adult who did not want to put something inside their ears.
That's excellent. I love it.
Yeah, it's cool. It is cool. So that is let me stop that. There we go. So anything else, guys?
One more thing. I think that this is really more conceptual than anything at this point in time, but I think that artificial intelligence has tremendous potential to change and entertain and educate and engage older people in the coming future. Again, when I was at the Senior Living Innovation Forum, there's a guy by the name of Ron Galloway, who's a friend, who talked about some of the things that are happening, sort of more beta-ish. Things like you can say, well, paint me a picture that includes where I grew up and when I was 12 years old, and it will give you like a Van Gogh's Starry Nights picture. And I know there's a lot of ethical things, is it real art if it's computed by, but I just think that those are the kinds of things that there's probably never been a better time to be older and tap into this technology stuff.
100%. In fact, I did a recent TED Talk on the power of AI and the boomer you love, and talk about some of those topics about what you can anticipate your grandparents or the boomer you love will be using and how you can help them adapt to that. So I think that's huge. The more people feel secure and comfortable around the newer technology, the faster the adoption and the more secure people are at home. Guys, I got to tell you, there's one last thing I wanted to tell you. We were talking about voice activation, and I have to say, anytime I can speak into a remote control to find something on my TV, rather than having to tap through everything, oh my goodness, that old school process, that makes my brain hurt. Does that make your brain hurt too, whenever you have to do that? Oh, so that's like an outer limits experience for me. So anytime I can speak into the remote to find something on TV, I love that technology, and I'm very thankful for it.
I think that is great. I get solace in hitting the controls sometimes, but I like having both. I'll speak to my Echo device to change TV channels and to change input. So I get what you're saying, Abbie.
Yeah. Woohoo, outer limits. Like we're not always thinking in that old school style, right? And then once in a while, you've got to do it. All right. Well, guys, I'm thankful for you. Steve, I adore you. You have been such a wonderful resource and mentor for me. Thank you. And Burton, I'm always watching your content and learning and learning and learning. So thank you. And to our visitors and our participants who are here with us today, thank you so much. I love seeing your names pop up and seeing your comments. Burton, before we sign off here, how can people get in touch with you?
You can go to my website, burtonkelso.com, or I'm on all of the social media channels. So just look up at Burton Kelso and you'll find me there.
Yeah. And Steve, everyone knows how to get.
You know where to find me. This is my channel, so I don't need to put anything out there. Burton, it was great to meet you. Thank you for your passion in tech, being willing to share and educate.
Oh, no problem. It was great meeting you, Steve. And I don't know where to find you. It's always good to repeat that information. So, Steve, how do we find you?
So first off, you can actually Google Steve Moran, and I will come up on first page. Senior Living Foresight is the organization name, so you can find us on LinkedIn as our biggest platform, but we're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we've even got a little tiny TikTok channel. So and our whole goal is to make the lives of people who live and work in senior living better.
I love that. I'm gonna have to start using that. Just Google Burton Kelso and I'll come up first page. That's such authority. I love it, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. All right, you guys, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you back here next week.